Hi, I'm Gemma Alex Levy. I'm the founding artistic director of Muse of Fire Theater Company. Queen Marget is an adaptation of 4 of Shakespeare's history plays. We are looking at the 3 parts of Henry VI and Richard III. There are 4 plays that follow historically, one right after another. And this play combines those 4 plays to look at specifically the story of one particular character, Queen Margaret. Well, I think that it's very interesting that Shakespeare, who wrote for a company of actors that didn't even include women, wrote such a strong female character. She actually is one of the few characters who survives 4 of Shakespeare's plays. And in particular, in the climate that we're facing right now, of questionable gender equality, and we currently have a woman about to become the first presidential nominee, it seemed an appropriate time to be looking at the power that women can hold and have held in the past, and to study what it means to be a really strong woman in a man's world. Sure. So one of the things that's unusual about this play is that whereas in Shakespeare's plays we have dozens of characters in each of them, this production we actually only have 4 performers. So 2 of those actors will take on 1 character each, and the other 2 take on a few characters as various people die. But the main characters are Queen Margaret herself, her husband Henry VI, Queen Margaret's lover Suffolk, and Suffolk, who then becomes Exeter, who is one of King Henry's advisors. And then there's Gloucester, who's another one of King Henry's advisors, York, who is one of the rebels against King Henry during the War of the Roses, and Richard, who is probably most famously known as Richard III, who happens to be York's son. Queen Margaret is being played by Annalise Dickinson. King Henry is being played by Curtis Dunn. Gloucester, York, and Richard are being played by John Beale, who's also one of our company members and is also our fight choreographer. And Suffolk and Exeter are being played by Corey Lipman, and they are all local Chicago actors. We held open auditions for all of the roles, with the sort of exception of Gloucester, York, and Richard. John Beale, like I said, is a company member. We knew he wanted to be in this. We knew we wanted him to be in this production, and we also are intending to do a production of Richard III next year that he will be starring in. So this was a way to prep our audiences to see him in that character. Sure. So Muse of Fire has been in the Evanston area for 8 years. This is our 8th summer season. Very proud of that. Our focus is on accessibility. And when we talk about accessibility for Muse of Fire, we talk about it in 3 different ways. First is financial accessibility. Every single production we do is free, and that is written into our mission statement, so they always will be. We also talk about geographic accessibility, so we try to perform in we perform in non-theater spaces because we find that frequently people are intimidated by having to go to the theater. So we try to perform in public parks, in local libraries, in retirement communities, things like that, to really encourage as many people as possible to see the theater. And in addition, we talk about intellectual accessibility, which is closest to my heart. We talk about making the plays unbelievably clear through storytelling. And this particular play is a step outside of Shakespeare for us because it's an adaptation, but it certainly sticks with our commitment to clear text and to storytelling that really breaks down barriers between the audience and the performers. We don't use lighting equipment, we don't use sound equipment. It really is just people on stage talking to other people off stage. And we try to blur the boundaries of where that stage begins and ends as well, so that our audience really becomes involved in the world of the play. Our audiences are amazing. They are extremely loyal. We have people who've been coming literally since the first show we ever did 8 years ago. We have people who bring their children, who bring their dogs, who bring their bikes. We have people who show up not knowing that there's anything going on in the park and will stay for whatever piece of the play is left over, and then will come back the next day to see the beginning that they missed the first time. It's really amazing, and they love the interaction with the performers as well. We don't do interaction the way that improv does interaction, where you sort of get hauled up on stage and embarrassed in front of all of your friends. But we do like to speak directly to our audience. So we are not ignoring the fact that the audience is there. We speak directly to them. And I think that that makes the audience feel much more a part of the community that is producing the play. So Queen Marget has 4 preview performances in Highland Park before it opens in Evanston. Those performances are July 23rd, 24th, 30th, and 31st. We only perform on Saturdays and Sundays in Highland Park. Then we move to Evanston, where we will be performing in Ingram Park, which is located just behind the Morton Civic Center, which is at 2100 Ridge Avenue. And those performances are on Saturdays and Sundays in August, beginning August 6th. We do not perform outdoors on August 20th and 21st because there's the big community picnic that weekend, which we encourage everybody to go to. And instead, on the 19th and the 20th, so the Friday and Saturday nights, we hold indoor evening performances in the Evanston Public Library. So those begin at 7:30 p.m. In Highland Park, the performances are at 2:35, and we chose that strange hour because we are trying to avoid a train that goes by right around 2:30. So we try not to tease anybody by making them come sit for an extra 10 minutes while the train goes by. The performances in Evanston outdoors begin at 3 p.m. I think that what we are trying to express to the world is that theater can help create and encourage community in a way that we have gotten away from when we sit in a darkened theater and have to pay hundreds of dollars to get tickets. That the idea that we subscribe to is that theater really should be for everybody, that nobody should be excluded from that, and that if everybody is sitting in the same space listening to the same story, and if the stories are good stories, and that's why we focus on producing great works, that helps build a community amongst those varied and diverse audience members, because they get to participate in that story together, and that becomes not necessarily a cathartic experience, although sometimes it's cathartic, but I think that it helps us understand each other and our common humanity. For playwrights, I don't know what to say. This is only I keep quibbling with the term playwright because I really am adapting somebody else's work. Shakespeare wrote about 3/4 of what is in Queen Marget, and I rearranged it and filled in the gaps. But I think that the key for any theater maker of any kind is to tell a story that's important to you and that's important for the world to hear, and to tell it clearly and not rely on gimmicks or technology. I think that theater, while some theaters have access to amazing technology, and there has been great theater done because of that, that the core of any piece of theater needs to be a great story. And stories come from our imagination and not from the equipment around us. Oh, well, we can always be reached at our website, which is www.museoffire.org. And that's the easiest way to get a hold of us. We do put out information about upcoming projects on our website, that is our website, on our Facebook page and on our Twitter feed as well. So those are all good places to look for us. Our Facebook page, you can look up Muse of Fire Theater, and our Twitter is at Muse of Fire THTR. And on with the show.
Where the wind blows.
We breathe, take time to do him dead.
How ill-beseeming is it in thy sex to triumph like an Amazonian troll, but that thy face is visibly unchanging, made impotent with use of evil deeds. I would essay, proud queen, to make thee blush. 'Tis beauty that doth make most women proud, but God, he knows thy share of it is small. 'Tis virtue that doth make them most admired. The contrary doth make thee wonderful. 'Tis government that makes them seem divine. Thy want thereof makes thee abominable. Thou art the opposite to every good as the antipodes are unto us. Tiger's heart, wrapped in a woman's hide. Women are soft, mild, pitiful, and flexible. Thou stern, obdurate, fleeting, rough, remorseless. Bidst thou me rage? Why now thou hast thy wish, and in thy need such comfort come to thee, as now I reap at thy true cruel hand. My soul to heaven! My blood upon your heads!
Off with his head, and sit it on York gates, so York may overlook the town of York.
By many hands, great York had been subdued, but only slaughtered by the ireful arm of that false she-wolf, the unrelenting Margaret.
Welcome, my lord, to this brave town of York. Yonder's the head of that arch-enemy that sought to be encompassed with your crown. Doth not the object cheer your heart, my lord?
Aye, as the rocks cheer them that fear their wrath. To see the sight, it irks my very soul. Withhold revenge, dear God. 'Tis not my fault. No wittingly have I infringed my vow. I'll leave my son, my virtuous deeds behind, and would my father had left me no more. Ah, cousin York, would thy best friends did know how it doth grieve me that thy head is here.
Now Richard of York, with 30,000 men, comes through the towns, and as they march along, proclaims his brother Edward England's king.
Oh, valiant lords, the Duke of York is slain. Father, I bear thy name. Avenge thy death, or die renowned by attempting it. To weep is to make less the depth of grief. Tears then for babes, blows and revenge for me.
My lord, cheer up your spirits. Our foes are nigh.
And this soft courage makes your followers faint. I would your highness would depart the field.
The queen hath best success when you are absent.
Aye, good my lord, and leave us to our fortune.
Why, that's my fortune too, therefore I'll stay.
Attend me! Lords, the proud, insulting queen hath wrought the easy melting king like wax. He swore consent to our succession, his oath enrolled it in the parliament. Now, perjured Henry, wilt thou kneel for grace, or bide the mortal fortune of the field?
Hence, heap of wrath, foul indigested lump, as crooked in thy manners as thy shape. Becomes it thee to be thus bold in terms before thy sovereign and thy lawful king?
York was adopted heir by his consent, since when his oath is broken. For as I hear, you, that our king, though he do wear the crown, hath caused him, by new act of parliament, to blot out us, and put his own son in.
And reason too. Who should succeed the father but the son?
Have done with words, my queen, and hear me speak.
Defy him then, or else hold close thy lips.
I prithee, give no limits to my tongue.
I am a king, and privileged to speak.
Say! Henry, shall I have my right, or no?
Go rate thy minions, foul, proud, insulting boy. Thou art a foul, misshapen, stigmatic, marked by the destinies to be avoided, as venom toads or lizards' dreadful stings.
Iron of Naples, hid with English guilt, whose father bears the title of a king, as though a channel should be called the sea. Never was Agamemnon's brother wronged by his fair Helen as this king by thee. Or when he took a beggar to his bed, and graced thy poor sire with his bridal day, even then that sunshine brewed a shower for him, that washed his father's fortunes forth from France, and heaped sedition on his crown at home. For what hath broke this tumult but thy pride? Shamest thou not, knowing whence thou art derived, and let thy tongue detect thy base-born heart? Had thou been meek, our title still had slept, and we, in pity of the gentle king, had slipped our claim into another age. Since thou deniest the gentle king to speak, sound trumpets, let our bloody colors wave, and either victory or else a grave.
Stay, Richard.
No, wrangling woman! I'll no longer stay. These words
will
shall
cost
10,000
10,000
lives
lives
this
this
day.
day.
The battle fares like to the morning's war, when dying clouds contend with growing light, both tugging to be victors, breast to breast, yet neither conqueror nor conquered. So is the equal poise of this fell war.
To whom God will, there be the victory.
The tide begins to turn. The Yorks now fight with fiery eyes, sparkling from very wrath.
The Yorks, with bloody steel grasped in their hands, are at our backs, and therefore hence amain.
Away, for vengeance comes along with them. Nay, stay not to expostulate. Make speed.
Aye, take me with thee, good sweet Exeter. Not that I fear to stay, but love to go whither the queen intends. Forward, away.
Now, breathe we, lords. Good fortune gives us pause. Some troops pursue the bloody-minded queen that led calm Henry, though he were a king, as doth a sail filled with a fretting gust command the argosy to stem the waves. I shall to London with triumphant march to watch my brother Edward there crowned king. From whence shall I cut the sea to France to crave the French king's sister for his queen. So shall we sinew both these lands together. And, having France our friend, we shall not dread the scattered foe that hopes to rise again.
My queen and son are gone to France for aid. Poor queen and son, your labor is but lost. For Richard is a subtle orator, and France's prince soon won with moving words.
Aye, and she's come to beg.
Richard, to give.
She on his left side, craving aid for Henry.
He, on his right, asking a queen for England.
If that go forward, Henry's hope is done.
says Sir Henry is deposed.
He smiles. He says his brother is installed.
But letters come from England now to France with news of nuptials.
Oh, such unhoped joy! What? Has your king married the Lady Grey? Is this the alliance that he seeks with France? He matches more for wanton lust than honor. Now tell false Edward, thy supposed king. Tell him my mourning weeds are laid aside, and I am ready to put armor on.
And now at last, France firmly is resolved that Henry shall have aid.
And Edward, now we're wasted! Bones and all! That brother's grave misstep may cause my fall. For hasty marriage seldom proveth well. And since this earth affords no joy to me, but to command, to check, to o'erbear such as are a better person than myself, I'll make my heaven to dream upon the crown. And whilst I live to count this world but hell, until this misshaped trunk that bears this head be round and paling the glorious crown. Tut! Were it further off, I'll pluck it down. I stay not for the love of Edward, but the crown.
Now, as you'll guess, the war spins on and on.
With sudden change, it turns and turns again.
The Yorkish king, being carelessly encamped and but attended by a simple guard, so Henry's men, with knight's black mantle cloaked, at unawares beat down the guard and seize him.
And
once again does Henry wear the crown.
Till Edward finds his friends, with horse and men, to set him free from his captivity.
Let's levy men and beat them back again. Methinks the power that Edward hath in field shall not be able to encounter mine. We may recover all our loss again.
The doubt is that he will seduce the rest.
E'en so does Richard. In his brother's name, he levies men and makes prepare for war. Thus, fortune keeps an upward course.
But Margaret now from France brings puissant power.
I spy a black, suspicious, threatening cloud that will encounter with our glorious son ere he attain his easeful western bed. The queen is valued 30,000 strong. If he have time to breathe, be well assured her faction will be full as strong as ours.
Great lords, wise men ne'er sit and wail their loss, but cheerly seek how to redress their harm. But though the mast be now blown overboard, the anchor broke, the holding anchor lost, and half our sailors swallowed in the flood, yet lives our pilot still. We will not from the helm sit and weep, but keep our course, though the rough winds say no, through shells and rocks that threaten us with wrack. And what is Edward but a ruthless sea, and Richard but a ragged, fatal rock? All these the enemies to our poor bark. This speak I, lords, to let you understand, in case some one of you would fly from us, that there's no hope for mercy with the brothers, more than with ruthless waves, with sands and rocks.
Give me a taste, I want a taste. Taste of theater. Give me a taste, I want a taste. Taste of theater. Give me a taste, I want a taste.
Welcome to the A Taste of Theater. We would like to thank you for watching our channel and invite you to visit our website at atasteoftheater.com. There you can find a play, manage your theatrical production, acting career, or venue. Come out and see us live at our annual festival, where you can view one scene from several different plays each night. Thanks again for tuning in. where A Taste of Theater also brings live theater to you right into your living rooms.
Give me a taste.
Would you like to have your play seen by thousands of households? Plus be compensated for it at the same time? Don't you think it's time for your productions to evolve past the four walls of a local theater? A Taste of Theater does. Introducing our new streaming app on demand on Roku, Apple, and Amazon Fire TV. The entire world can experience your play. Your production will be seen uncut, uncensored, and without interruptions. Let the next generation be influenced by your work. Don't miss out. Our submissions are filling up fast. Submit your play now before it's too late. To learn more, go to tasteoftheater.com.
The evolution will be televised.
Hello, Rhonda. It's good seeing you again. Get some love from you.
Listen, we need to talk. Okay, you have no idea what is going on in your brother's life.
I know. I know what Dante does. Okay, but I also know my brother, and I know he's not involved in any of that. Look, he came over here to talk to Quentin. That was it. He didn't come over here to hurt anyone.
Okay, that's exactly.
He didn't come over here to hurt anyone.
That is exactly my point.
On 3 buses for? Y'all want them papers, you'll have to get them your own self.
We can't get it, Paris. It's in a strong box, in a hole under Johnny's desk. He don't trust me no more, since I told him I want to leave, and Phyllis ain't got no reason to be in his room. He always keeps his office door locked.
Well, how am I supposed to get in?
Johnny need a bartender, and all I got to do is say...